for an ad read, folks. Yes. This podcast today is brought to you by AskTheQuestion.com. Ask the Question is a site that encourages young males of all shapes, sizes, and ages to just be a man and ask a girl out on a date. In today's world that is driven by social media and driven by other less good factors, such as, let me rephrase this. In a world driven by social media and engulfed by pornography, young men often refrain from asking women out on dates or even talking to women. This site encourages men to ask out women by giving them a simple 3-step plan that will make their odds of asking out a girl 50% more likely and their odds of getting an acceptance 75% more likely. So remember, folks, to ask the question is half of the issue here. So head on to askherout.com, askthequestion.com. They offer simple $5 plans per month. Each week you're given a tutorial on how to follow through the simple 3-step plan. I cannot disclose it because that would defeat the purpose. Head to askthequestion.com. Use the code FNM for 15% off. And that'll round to, I don't know what, maybe $4 for the plan, maybe $4.75. Anyway,
Go to FNM.
FNM, yeah.
Facts and miles?
FNS. Thank you, my recruiter, for clearing that up. Head to askthequestion.com. Use the code FNS in the description for 50% off. And also, be a man and ask the question. Now back to the show. All right, you want to get into it?
Yeah. Let's jump right into it. I forgot how good this book was.
No way, I was doing the exact same thing. I knew when I read it.
It was good.
I knew when I read it how much I liked it. The first chapter was like, this, I forgot how much of an absolute banger this book is. Like, it's as good as I remembered it, not better.
Just it's so like subtle. It's so like British.
Yeah.
It's just the humor. Oh man.
He's tackling we talked about this one time. He tackles everything in this book, and I think so far he's doing it exquisitely. Like nothing feels forced or out of left field.
Yeah,
it all feels so natural.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just the satire, so good, so good. Especially after working at like a big corporation, it's like the stuff he's saying 80 years ago, still 100%, like exactly maps on to what corporations are like.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
So
just jump right into it.
Starts off with Jane musing about marriage, right? And Jane and Mark, so interesting. Okay, so Jane, she seems like this. I think this comes up more in chapter 3, but even in chapter 1, she's very much uncomfortable in the role of wife.
Mm-hmm.
She feels like she deserves more independence. Perhaps she doesn't really know what it's like to be loved. There was a scene where she's with Mrs. Dimble, and she gets that hug, and I forgot how much I want this hug, I love it, but outwardly she rejects it. She doesn't want it. It makes her feel uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. So she's such a fascinating character. It's like she's not a feminist, but she's also not, I'm going to stay and cook and raise the kids, and I'm going to be content with that.
She has
right in the middle.
She has the feminist like disdain for femininity.
Mm-hmm.
Like where she's like, she sees femininity as like immature or childlike.
Yes. Yeah.
Which it's a theme I also have more on it in chapter 3.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's interesting. It's cool to see like both how she thinks about the marriage and then how Mark thinks about the marriage.
Yeah.
Now he's like inarticulate and he doesn't know how to like express how he actually feels about her.
Right.
And she's like prioritizing her work and is like, like in chapter 3 she says like one has to live their own life.
Yes.
And it's like
no time for kids.
Uh-huh.
That's where the feminist side of her. But I mean, one of the first lines is, she says, mutual society, help and comfort bitterly. In reality, marriage had proved to be the door out of a world of work and comradeship and laughter and things to do into something like solitary confinement. And there's this like scene of her. She's done all her chores. She's cleaned the house. What do I do now? Mark's gone. I'm bored. This is terrible. And it's funny because you do kind of feel it. At least I did. You do kind of feel for it that wait, that does seem kind of like boring and lonely. Like you're just by yourself at your house. You've done all the house chores. Now what? And it's the rest of the book is going to wrestle with what is the role of the married woman and like how does she embrace that?
Yeah, like he's doing the thing Dostoevsky does, where obviously C.S. Lewis believes in a traditional
Yes.
femininity and female role in marriage, but he's not just like battering you over the head with his idea. He's painting like a problem state in the most compelling way he can. Right? He's like setting up Jane as like she's not like an obnoxious feminist character. He's just like wrong about everything.
Right.
It's like he's going like, what's the steel man that I can make?
She's sympathetic. Yeah. And then she has doubts about it. Like, are they still actually in love? Because it's the glimpse we get is that when they were dating, the time was just there was never enough time to talk about whatever they wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
And as soon as they get married, all that's gone.
Yeah.
All that's gone. And she feels like, wait, was that, like, I thought this was going to be the beginning of something spectacular, that would continue into the marriage, but was that just his way of corralling me, basically, and then having a wife to be at home?
And I thought it was interesting, like, the first scene, she's musing about how, like, unhappy she is in her marriage, or unsatisfied. But then she goes into how she's also, like, unsatisfied with her like she's getting her PhD, I think. And she's like, she's also kind of fallen out of love, or at least like passion with her PhD topic.
She's thinking, oh, I should start it, but I don't really feel like it.
And it's like forced at this point, which I don't know. It's cool.
Yeah.
And then she has the dream.
Yeah. Which
actually she had the dream before, but
she remembers it. And I think we know later that she's having visions, and I think we can leave the interpretation of the dream till later because we both know what the dream is.
We don't want to spoil it for the listeners.
Yeah, crazy.
But it's this like scientist guy who is
Alcazan.
He's going to be executed for killing his wife. Someone comes in, has a chat with him, and then unscrews his head. And then she sees an old guy.
Right. His head.
Might be Merlin.
Yeah, popping about like dirt in the grave, kind of.
He's like buried. She knows he's alive. They think he's not. Yeah.
This passage right here, she's thinking about a line from Donne, and it says, "Hope not for mind and women. At their best, sweetness and wit, they are but mummy possessed." Then she wonders, did any man really want mind in women? And this line, what does this mean? At their best, sweetness and wit, they are but mummy possessed. What does that mean?
Mummy? Like
I think he means like mommy, like mom.
Oh.
What does that mean? They're but mummy possessed. What does that mean? Because the first part I think he's saying is hope not for mind women, like, come on. Women, they're not intelligent. They got nothing up here.
You don't want
their best moments, they're just kind of sweet and funny and like hee. Mummy possessed. What does that mean? Because I was thinking the exact opposite thing on. Hope for mind women. And if she doesn't have one, steer clear.
Yeah.
But I don't know what he's getting at there. Anyway, that's kind of the random side.
No, it's capitalized too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Then we get to Mark. Mark and Curry. And so go ahead.
He's just doing office politics.
Yeah.
He's licking the boots. He's trying to make it seem like he's not licking the boots.
One thing I really like about how this progresses is that you have Mark, right? And each person he's with in succession, you think, oh, here's the mastermind. First with Curry, it's like, this guy's pulling the strings. He's setting positions and appointments. He's moving things around. Then you get to, oh, wait, no, it's the bursar manipulating the crowd like, oh, well, we have all these financial problems. The problem with the well, the tree, bam, nice. Also, we can get the junior fellows better stipends or whatever, more money, basically. Whoa, this is amazing. Okay, so the bursar pulling the strings. No. Then we get to Feverstone.
Featherstone. It's Feverstone?
Feverstone. Oh, man.
Because in the British, they pronounce it like Featherstone.
Oh.
So I thought it was Featherstone.
I feel like Feverstone sounds better. Whatever.
Okay.
Feverstone, who's like these stupid little people playing their little politics games at Bragton College, these schools. They don't understand the magnanimity of what we're doing. Nice, he's gonna usher in a new world, science, all the rest.
You want another sausage?
Yeah, thanks. Then you get to, is it Wither?
Wither. Mr. Wither?
Yeah, the deputy director of Nice.
You're like, oh boy,
and
big meeting coming up with Mr. Wither.
Exactly. And even though he as a character is kind of underwhelming, you get the sense that, I think someone made a line about, who was it? Maybe it was the Italian, not the Italian, Hinges, or Hinges. The guy who's in Nice, he's like, this stuff's all rotten nonsense, I'm getting out of here. Who's telling Mark, get out of here.
Bill
the Blizzard?
Bill the Blizzard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think he makes a line that, you think Feverstone's the guy, no, be wary of Wither. Like, and so it's kind of this progressing scale of it. Each person you meet, you think, oh, Curry, the smart guy. No, the Bursars, oh, Feverstone, yeah, these guys are idiots. No, Wither's one. I really like it.
Yeah.
You get the sense of it. There's more going on than meets the eye, right? Don't be taken in at first glance, and it's really well done.
Okay. Then there's also this like this cycle that Mark gets in towards the end of chapter 3, where he's like, Bill the Blizzard's like, oh, you're a sociologist, you're gonna be under what's his name, Steele, and he goes to Steele, and Steele's like, oh, well, they're trying to pawn off this sociologist on me. That's not gonna happen. And Steele's talking to this other guy, whatever, and you got the sense that it's like, maybe there's less going on than meets the eye. Like, Feverstone has this idea of how things are going, and Steele has this other idea, and like the left hand kind of doesn't know what the right hand is doing,
right?
And maybe this organization isn't really all it's chopped up to be.
And you also get the scene where Mark keeps trying, what am I going to be doing here? And Wither's giving him all the, oh, what we do here is the best of the best, and you'll be doing everything, we'll accommodate you, everything. He's not getting any direct answers.
Yeah.
And at one point, Mark just, once he makes a vague comment like that, I think C.S. Lewis writes that any hope he had of finding out what he's doing is gone. It just goes into random business jargon speech, and so he has no idea what's actually going on here.
Yeah. All right, are we in chapter 2 yet? Oh wait, hold on. So,
do you want to touch on the sale of Bragton?
And I see
the politics behind that, or no?
I thought it was funny. I wrote this down, and then it became completely. I did not know again.
Oh.
But there are the spiritualists who want access to Bragton Wood, because I think it has some like magical power. And there's this documentary crew who isn't interested in Bragton Wood. They're interested in the spiritualists who are interested in Bragton Wood.
Yeah.
Man,
getting choked up thinking about it. It's an emotional part of the book.
I wouldn't go that far. And then, okay, so Jane goes to her friends. What are they called?
The Dimbles.
The Dimbles.
Okay, so that's after the sale of Bragton Wood. Which, by the way, skillful. Like, so good. Just everything about it was perfect. And when they get to the point where it's if you're gonna oppose it, you just look like some old traditionalist lunatic.
You want the barbed wire fence? Is that what you want?
Yeah. You don't want us to have money. You want everything to go to on the high water. And then obviously we have Peterson disrespecting Jewel. Yeah, because then we get to the Dimples. And yeah. Mrs. Dimple, so they're talking, they get a hat, and they're talking about feminine stuff.
She's going
fair sex.
She doesn't want to be the kind of girl who gets a hat the way guys get.
Yeah, you're right. And she finds herself doing it. And then Mrs. Dimple, out of the blue, asks her, "Do you hate being kissed?" And Jane breaks down. And she had intended to reply, "Of course not," but inexplicably, and to her great annoyance, found herself crying. And then we get her getting hugged by Mrs. Dimple, and she's like, "I used to resist this as a kid, but I actually really do want it, even though I tell myself I don't." And
this is a moment where like her femininity that she's trying to repress is like coming up.
Yeah. And
right.
The line, "Do you hate being kissed?" and then she cries. It's almost like there's a line later. I think it's when she's going to see Ironwood. It's along the lines of the truly feminine, or what's beautiful about the feminine is not to desire it, her being desired, but to enjoy her being desired.
Yeah.
It's like to give up her beauty to her partner, to her man. And that kind of ties into this, right, where it's, you hate being kissed. To be kissed is to receive love.
Sure,
right?
yeah. It's not even...
It's receptive. And it feels like what she's struggling with here is receiving love. In the same way that she wants to resist the hug, then she finds herself just loving it. Like, what's truly feminine is what's receptive. And she feels resistance to that for some reason. I don't know why. But
there's a sense in which it's like, it ties into the like one must live their own life thing, where it's like there's a way in which like living your own life, in the sense that Jane means it, is like cutting yourself off from love. Mm-hmm. It's like you're not willing to make the proper sacrifices to that are involved in loving people.
Right.
Then I'm losing passion for your PhD thesis, or whatever it is.
No, right, yeah. It's I think to receive love is, in a sense, it's to be vulnerable. It's to open yourself up to the possibility of loss.
Yeah.
And to accept that you're being recognized for who you are, and to embrace that. Like, it is very vulnerable. And she seems like she's so, like, the feminist independent woman is the woman who says, "I need a man like a fish needs a bicycle." But the truly independent woman is one who recognizes how men and women complement each other, right? They bring each other, they let their virtue show better when they're together. Yeah. I mean, think about this, this is on a podcast with Matt Pratt, Jason Everett. They were talking about how it's literally in our biology for the man to be the initiator of love and the woman to be the receiver. Like, literally in the way sex happens, right? And I think that God has made our bodies and our spirits, and the feminine spirit, the feminine body, the male spirit, the male body, they're made that way for a reason, that they reflect certain realities. And I think that's just such a cool idea, that this idea of, which is why I would think we would, at least hopefully, we would think it's perverted for a woman to ask a man to marry her. It's like, no, the man is supposed to be the initiator, you're supposed to be the receiver. That's the way it's supposed to go. The man opens himself up to rejection, you open yourself up to his love. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Like, it's really a masculine thing to decide what the terms of the relationship are.
Yeah. It's like
to initiate like that.
That's why each stage of a relationship should be the man asking and the woman saying yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go on a date? Yes or no? Do you want to date exclusively? Yes or no? Do you want to be engaged? Do you want to be my wife? Yes or no? Married, I do. Like, there's steps where the man is consistently opening himself up for rejection, allowing her to decide if she's going to open herself up to be loved or not. I think there's great beauty in that.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so she tells them about her dream, and Dimble's like, hey, yo, something's afoot. And Janie's kind of annoyed because she can tell, oh wait, he cares more about the dream and the story than how I feel about it. Which is funny. But, and he tells her, see Miss Ironwood, who I think she thinks is some sort of like therapist or something, which I don't think Miss Ironwood's that at all. She's a mysterious figure, which I guess we'll get into later. But,
yeah. He also makes an offhand comment about like Merlin.
Yes, yeah.
And they're talking about, like, oh, well, what must it have been like to be King Arthur and trying to, whatever, unify Great Britain or whatever he was doing. And how, like, Merlin is a magician. You automatically think, like, magician, that's, like, demonic power. But, yeah, pagan. But Merlin might be a character from before magic was either black or white, which I thought was an interesting idea.
So interesting. I almost get the impression reading like this passage that it seems like Merlin's walking like the straight line between chaos and order and good and evil. He's kind of right in the middle of it. Like he says that he's not evil, he's a magician. He's a druid, but he knows about the Grail. He's pagan but Christian, good but evil.
It's also a fairy tale.
Yeah.
So it's like there is magic, and the magic has to like not always be bad, right? Like she's getting prophetic dreams. Is that like a demon possessing her?
Right.
Or is that just good magic?
Yeah. Okay, so then we get dinner with Curry, the bursar.
We're on chapter 2.
Chapter 2 now.
That was the end of chapter 2.
That was the end of chapter 1.
Oh, you're right.
So it's Curry, Busby the bursar, Mark, and Feverstone, and this is where we get into the more of the politics behind progressive elements, and we see that Curry thinks he's the puppet master. He's actually just yet another puppet, and one that's in the hands of Feverstone. Feverstone even says, like, I think Mark at one point, I love the conversation between Mark and Feverstone, and Mark says at one point, oh, well, there was talk that you'd be the warden, and Feverstone is a big kick out of that, a huge kick out of that, but that's hilarious, like, no, that's something that Curry can do. He can have his little fun, play his little games, we'll tell him what to do, he'll do it for us, like, there's bigger things going on here than just who's going to be overseeing Grafton College. And that kind of shocks Mark. He's like, wait, that's like a position of power. And Feverstone just like laughs at it, like, it's pathetic.
Yeah. Mark has no idea what real power is at this point.
Right.
He's a toady.
So they're talking about it.
Nice.
The benefits, nice. Love the acronym, by the way, too. It's on the nose.
I think it's interesting. They're the two. Yeah, just everything they say about nice is so great. It's like we're gonna take a scientific approach to science. Yeah. Finally, we're not just doing science. We're setting up the industry of science in a scientific way.
Backed by the government.
It's so absurd.
Yeah.
But like what they think science is just not. Yeah.
Well, it's perfect. It's like the saving of the human race. That's what it's down to. It's scientific. It's not just experience. I mean, it gets into later like
sociopathy,
sociology.
Okay.
And that's Mark's field, and how we can use tricks of the trade He almost disclosed that, we're going to be trying to manipulate masses.
Yeah, he goes, I'm just writing up the reports, and he's like, no, you're writing down the reports.
Yeah.
Your job is to make what we're doing seem more mundane than it actually is.
Exactly, and make it more appealing to the masses in that respect.
Mm-hmm. I love it, especially when they're talking about the organizational structure and how it's like there are like 15 people in a group, and they each make 15,000 a year, and there are like pragmatometers that like
the pragmatometers part was the best.
Dude, so good.
Yeah.
Literally way too close to what Vegas does. I mean, it's such accurate satire.
Yeah. Yeah, Curry says the nice marks the beginning of a new era, the really scientific era. This is going to put science itself on a scientific basis. 40 committees, and this is the gadget they've got. The findings of each committee print themselves off in their own little compartment on the notice board every half hour. Then that report goes into the position where it's connected up by little arrows with other relevant parts of the other reports. A glance at the board shows you the policy of the whole institute actually taking shape under your own eyes. 20 experts at the top of the building, working the notice board in a room. It's a gadget. It's the pragmatometer. Yeah. Hilarious.
Yeah. So good. I mean, there's still so much like expert worship, so much like algorithmic decision making. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's perfect. And then applying science to social issues and having NICE backed by the state. It's like,
well, so this is the best part. So then Curry and the Bursar leave it, and then Feverstone just has a fit of laughter. He's saying things like pragmatometers, palatial laboratories, practical idealism, just laughing at how absurd this all is. And then he says, it really is devastating. Top 30 book, of course. Son. It really is devastating that the people one has to use for getting things done should talk such dribble the moment you ask them about the things themselves. And then he says, well, they're the brains. And he's like, no, they're not even close. He says, the reason that Curry and the Bursar are useful is because they'll do anything to bring nice edge. So it's not because they actually know what they're talking about. It's not because they didn't do science or progress or anything like that. They're valuable because they will get us into practice. That's it. And then he gives me the line about, I thought you'd be the warden here. Pshaw, foolishness. And it must be, then he gets into humanity's at a crossroads. If science is really given a free hand, it can now take over the human race and recondition it, make man a really efficient animal. 3 main problems: interplanetary, and then he gives a little shout out to the first 2 books. Then the second problem is there's actual war. Second problem is rivals on this planet. We haven't cleared the place yet. And the third problem is man himself. Man has to take charge of man. Some men have got to take charge of the rest, cashing in as soon as we can. You and I want to be the people who do the taking charge, not the ones who are taking charge of. Sterilization of the unfit, liquidation of backward races. We don't want any dead weights, selective breeding, real education, prenatal education, none of this take it or leave it nonsense. And so it's basically like it's saying the quiet part out loud that what we're doing here is total restructuring of and manipulation of the masses, that we will bend the public to our will, that we're going to treat man like he is a technological gadget that can be improved.
And this is very on the nose. Like, this was published in 1945. So he knows exactly what he's doing. He's intentionally making these parallels between the Nazis and the NIC. Also, really elaborates on a lot of the themes from the abolition of man.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and then he gets to do what we want you to do, which is make it all look nice. Pun intended. Make it look, instead of experimenting on criminals, re-education of the maladjusted.
Yep.
And I think about this, it's all about euphemisms. We live in this world of euphemisms nowadays. It's not abortion, it's pro-choice. It's not a transgender person. Or no, it's not a colored person or a black person, it's people of color, which that one is the biggest kick I get. It's like, it's the exact same thing, it just sounds nicer, it's so stupid.
Yeah, it just sounds nicer right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's, yeah, I mean, I think later they say, someone says, like, people are very much against experimentation, but they're not so against experimental things.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if we're experimenting on children, that's horrible.
Yep.
But if we're, trying out new experimental education ideas.
Then it's cat's pajamas.
Cat's pajamas?
Uh-huh. Or the bee's knees.
The bee's knees, now we're done.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Same era though. 60s.
Oh. Yeah. Elephant's foot.
Yeah, nope. Okay, so then.
Do you want more of these?
No, I'm good, thank you. Alright. And then they say, okay, we're gonna meet with Wither and figure out what's going on. Then this is a good passage. We get back to it. The dynamics between Mark and Jane. So he comes home from the college, and she's had a rough night. She's been having nightmares and flashbacks and worrying, and her fear of the dark returns for a bit. So she's having a rough time with this. So when he comes back, there's a line where it says, so she embraces him, she's frightened, she's sobbing. Even a humble Jane, I thought that line was interesting. Like, she is humble in the sense that she's allowing herself to be seen as vulnerable and weak. Because she's putting up a front this whole time of it. I'm the strong woman who doesn't need a man. I can do things for myself. I'm the kind of woman who buys hats for her pleasure. And this is a moment of vulnerability. And in that vulnerability, she is, she's humble. She's allowing herself to be seen as she actually is. And when he's hugging her, when he's like consoling her, he says there was a quality in the very muscles of his wife's body which took him by surprise. A certain defensiveness had momentarily deserted her, and that these occasions were very, very rare, and they tended only to be followed by inexplicable quarrels. Mm-hmm. Which okay, so interesting. So on the one hand, these moments of vulnerability are rare. She doesn't want to show her true self. She doesn't want to be open to love. And then when she does, the fact that they're followed by arguments shows that she's resentful, that she let that part of herself be seen, and she's like, dang it. And
she's taking up that out of him.
Exactly. Arguments the next day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's funny. Here we get I think we get a peek into Mark's head, where he's like, I think that's the next chapter actually, but yeah, we see how different their pictures of the relationship are. Very different. Where it's like,
well, even when he comes,
she's like losing passion. She's like, the relationships become like mechanical and dead. And to him, it's like he still sees problems with the relationship, but I think he's like there's a scene where it's like he's like looking at her and he's like,
it's the next morning.
Yeah, it's the next morning. And he's thinking like, if only I could, or it's too complicated for me to.
No, so yeah, I think it's right here, but so she's doing her hair, and he's looking at her with early morning pleasure, and
So
then he says
that projecting his own
problem projection. He says C.S. Lewis writes that the reason that he doesn't know what's wrong with them is because of projection. where we think lambs are gentle because they feel soft. Men call a woman voluptuous when she arouses voluptuous feelings in them.
Which
James
is
Body.
Straight Divorce.
Yes.
Or Evolution of Men, which one of them?
I haven't read Great Divorce, so I'm guessing probably that one that I remember Evolution.
It's not the novel.
Great Divorce is the train ride, right?
Great Divorce is the train ride. Yeah, I think it's Evolution of Men. Okay. That's he's referencing.
And Jane's body, soft though firm and slim though rounded, was so exactly to Mark's mind that it was all but impossible for him not to attribute to her the same sensations that she excited in him. So he feels like, damn, she's hot. She's so beautiful, I love her. Like, these feelings of sexual passion and romance, since when looking at her, he feels that, he assumes that's the way she actually is. Yeah, it's usual. And it could be farther from the truth. She's sitting there brushing her hair, getting annoyed that it's not going right. And that she can tell that he's looking at her, and she's also annoyed that she was vulnerable the other night. She's pissed. But he's just like, wow, she's so beautiful. You know, no idea, it's oblivious.
Yeah, it blankets over the problems of the relationship. Because guys it takes so much less for us to be happy.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, this scene is, that's not the kind of guy I want to be. Like, just like it. You don't want to be the person who's always like asking your wife how you feel, honey. But like the kind of person who just assumes everything's okay because I feel like it's okay.
Yeah.
That's.
You shouldn't even know how you feel. You should only care about how your wife feels.
Exactly.
And only
pretty much
once in a while.
I think that's the main problem, right? It feels almost like selfish here, where it's just him like checking his wife out and it's like, wow, so beautiful. Instead of him trying to think, wait, she had a tough time last night. Let me actually figure out what that was about, because I came home not really sober, really late, and I was tired. I didn't have a whole lot of time to actually pay attention to it. Now should be my time to actually like have a talk and see what's going on. And I just assume that because I feel good, she does.
Yeah. Yeah, I almost want to say like how I want to put it in terms of like giving a gift and like how your gift is being received. Even though like that seems like over metaphoricalized in terms of when it's just like kissing or something.
Right.
But yeah, like how much like intimacy, and that sounds like an innuendo. It's going too far.
But no, I see what you're saying, and it's such a hard line to walk. There's really I think obviously you can say something like if the goal is ever sexual arousal, then it's wrong.
What do you mean?
Like, I think if you're kissing or making out with the intention to feel aroused, that's a problem.
And you mean even like when you're married?
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah. I think dating, we have to have some, like, even though they might seem unfair, there has to be some real boundaries.
It's not marriage yet. It's not just sex that belongs in marriage. It's sexual arousal, sexual stimulation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There are no loopholes that are like.
Exactly.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so then, she was angry with herself for betraying herself last night, for becoming the thing she most detested, the fluttering, tearful little woman of sentimental fiction, running for comfort to male arms. Such a good line. And that line kind of sums up her character right now. It's like, she doesn't want to be the one who is vulnerable or who is receiving genuine love. She wants to be independence not right. She wants to be
just like rational.
Above. She's almost like she's superior to being loved.
Yeah.
It's very. Her psychology is very fascinating. I can't quite make it out.
I think you hit on it when you said she doesn't want to be vulnerable. Like she sees being vulnerable as like a weakness.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah, that's just an integral part of being loved as a woman, especially. You have to be vulnerable. Yeah. And that's one thing that like men find attractive.
Yeah.
She's trying to avoid being feminine, really.
Right. Well, because then Mark asks her, like, hey, I don't have to see you with her today if you feel uncomfortable. And she's like, not for a second am I going to make you stay home, because that's going to make me look terrible. She says nothing. He even like, okay, well, my sister can stay with you. He offers her all these things, and she's not having any of it. I'm fine. What are you talking about? Go.
Which is so typical. It's like he's like she has a problem, he's trying to solve her problem,
Yeah.
and she's just acting emotional.
Yeah.
It's like she ends up just being feminine, just in like a toxic way instead.
Right. Yeah.
It's like she doesn't escape it.
Yeah.
And later on, we do see like what does it look like when a woman is actually just fully masculine.
Yes.
We get that with what's your name?
The fairy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's repulsive.
It's a really gross picture.
And Mark's fascinated by her, and he's fascinated by her because like she does repulse him.
It's fascinating the way that like your own fart smells, where it's like you know, where it's kind of like it's like it smells bad, but it's like
crazy.
It's that sort of
yeah. Okay, so then
is that chapter 3?
No, it's part 3, chapter 2. She makes him breakfast. Megs, their serving woman, comes in. Feverstone mistakes Megs for Jane. That really does not.
Wait, Mags is a serving woman?
No, she was
a friend.
Yeah.
Or like the kind of.
I have a woman who comes in twice a week. It's like it's not a serving. It's kind of like just like the neighborhood friend who like helps out at the house, I guess.
Okay, I missed that subtlety there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really not happy about that.
Yeah,
she blames Mark.
Yeah. I love this part though. I love this part. So she meets Feverstone and she clocks him immediately. Like she can detect this guy is something that's not right about this guy. This guy is creepy. He's evil. He's sinister. He's weird. I think she describes him like a loud, unnatural laugh and a mouth like a shark and no manners. And she says, she's thinking, what good could it do Mark to go about with a man like that? She distrusts his face. She could always tell there was something shifty about him. Probably he was making a fool of Mark. Mark was so easily taken in. I love this part. It's so good because the whole time with Mark, we're seeing he's like very fascinated by Feverstone. This guy's got power. This guy's got influence. Where am I going tonight? This guy's cool. And Jane just immediately sees the BS, like the feminine intuition at work. Like this guy is a piece of garbage. He's using you, and I can tell. I love it. It's so good.
And you even get that kind of like motherly instinct of like trying to protect Mark and how Mark's so easily taken advantage of.
Yeah. It's yet again another, I think, good example of the difference between men and women. And she shows her femininity here, where feminine intuition is a real thing. They have an ability to read people in a way that men don't necessarily have. Mark is attracted to the externals, the power, the magnanimity, the charisma, but she can see the interior. She can see, even though she can't, like, there's nothing here that's concrete. She has no proof. It's just like, this guy's laugh is weird. He has a smile like a shark. He's using you. It's so good. Yeah. So yeah, it's like the feminine intuition, the ability to discern between good and evil seems too strong, but
read people's intentions.
Yeah.
Someone's character based on how they look.
Yeah, she has a line too where she's thinking like all these odious people left, right, in college, progressive, like all these the bursar, all these losers. Like, what do people see in them? And
the answer is power.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
it goes back to Peterson, right? Where it's the male temptation is to power, make the world whatever I can for the woman. The woman's temptation is to embrace everything. And but on the other hand, you have like because of their respective temptations, women aren't going to be tempted to power like that, so they're going to be able to see it through the facade. But yeah, I love that part because later when is that here? Yeah, we get this almost cartoonish image, this image of hypermasculinity, where Feverstone's driving Mark in his cool fast car. They're whipping through. They're just reckless abandon, just speeding. Oh, that was their fault. This loser, like, oh, you can't do that. Of course we did this. Mark's just agreeing with everything he says, and it's absurd. It's like that's not what a truly masculine man is like. This is masculinity taken to its utmost extreme. Just like
It's so funny.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Like cars were so different back then, and I'm still imagining the exact same thing, right? I'm imagining a Corvette, or whatever.
Just cruising, just like
just going like, well, I mean, I guess if he says something about like justifying. Where he's like, Feverstone, he's just such a good driver that of course he should be able to break these traffic laws.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's a good I think it's a good picture again. Right after she because for us we've seen okay, Feverstone seems kind of sus. Right after she makes it clear, we get this picture of him where it's like, yeah, something is wrong with this guy. This isn't the way real men act. This is in the same way that he's power mad because right, good men should have power. They should be able to control it. They should have that's right. That's being the monster and being able to control the monster within you. That's being a good man. But taking masculinity to its extreme becomes it's all about the externals. It's like just power becomes the central point, and there's a loss of any sort of sensitivity. I'm thinking of this now. Earlier in the scene with Feverstone where the old guy is Jules is about to stand up and be like, no, the wood, come on, we have to keep the wood kind of thing. Yeah. And Feverstone just like basically sits him down. He goes laughs in his face, shut the hell up, old man. Sit down, basically. And Mark kind of feels bad for Jewel, and it's this image of lack of male sensitivity, where there's no concern, or there's no respect for the elderly, there's no concern for others, and when you see that lack of sensitivity here while he's driving, doesn't care about people getting in an accident, hurting anybody, it's all about me, where it
runs over a chicken.
Yeah, masculinity to its extreme, or to maybe its ultimate vice, is total lack of care for anyone. Yeah. But you do need a little feminine. You do need a little sensitivity, a little compassion, a little care for others.
You need that chaos within the
exactly.
Yeah. That's like this is actual toxic masculinity. Like that's what it actually means. Not
100%.
That's masculinity taken to its toxic levels.
Right.
As opposed to whatever they call it these days. Not even these days, like 5 years ago, what they call it.
Call what?
What then usurped for toxic masculinity.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like, it's really men acting in a feminine way.
Yes.
Yeah,
right, because the other extreme is a soy boy, who's all in his feels, and all about, oh yes, everything, like, whatever you want, honey, and it becomes the force that lets
the spirit that
transgenderism and enter in. It's like, oh, well, poor so-and-so, they can't help it. Oh, well, love them. They should be able to do what they want. That's masculinity becoming too feminine. It's trying to embrace everything instead of having being able to properly order things.
Yeah. Yeah, and you need that balance, so.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now a word from our sponsor, First Date. When you hear about dates, you're probably thinking about that thing that other people take your girlfriend on. But what I mean is this delicious thing. Sorry. Delicious thing. Shut up, Max. You're gonna make our sponsors are gonna drop us. Come on. I mean that sweet, delicious thing that grows on a tree. If you want to try dates, go to firstdates.com and use promo code FACTS for 10% off your first order of First Dates. Let's get back to the show.
So that concludes chapter 2. So then we get to chapter 3.
It just keeps getting better and better. I mean, really, this was hard to put down. I read it all at work today, and afterwards I was like, man, what am I going to do when I get home from work before Max comes over?
I felt the same way. It was really good. All right, so we get the introduction of Mr. Wither, and he has this faraway look in his eye, and it's funny, every time he talks to Mark, he seems to kind of forget his name. So he'll be like, oh, Mr.
Sir.
Kind of leave it, yes, sir, your friend, and he speaks very vaguely, very distant.
You have to he's talked this way to many people.
Yes, exactly.
He's had this exact conversation before.
Yeah, zero idea what he's saying. Yeah.
Mark's trying to find out what his job is.
Yes, and he keeps getting non-answers. And then he's like, oh, we'll provide you with accommodation. You can live here. Oh, we're never going to make you do anything you don't want to do. He doesn't give him a single definitive answer about anything. So at one point he says, I do think it's so important. The elasticity of your organization is one of the things that attracts me. And after that, he had no further chance of getting to the point. And whenever the gentle voice ceased, he found himself answering it in its own style and helpless to do otherwise, despite the torturing recurrence of the question, what are we both talking about? That was hilarious. That was hilarious. Just business jargon and nonsense speak of, you know, nothing's being said. Nothing's being said. It's just platitudes and phrases being repeated. Nothing of substance.
Mm-hmm.
So then we get to the nice and they're eating food and everyone's talking business speak. DD told NO and by golly, the JHD will do whatever and just he has no idea what's going on. Mm-hmm. But he sees Bill Blizzard and he starts talking to him and so we find out that Hideous Bill Blizzard is one of the few people that the progressive element has incorporated into themselves and to Nice because he's actually a man of science.
Yeah. And
they're like, we need somebody of good reputation to be with us, even though he stands for absolutely nothing that they stand for. And so it's kind of just it's the diversity hire in a sense. We need to have somebody who's actually well-renowned.
Well, I think it's the opposite of a diversity hire. He's like one guy who's actually legit.
Diversity hire in like the opposite sense, yeah.
Sure.
Like from their point of view.
Yeah, they're like.
Because he thinks they're all a bunch of idiots.
Because the progressive element, the goal of the progressive element is to take control of the college.
Yes.
Right? Like they don't really have a goal other than being power mad and playing politics. Yep. But like they need some sort of a legitimization.
Right.
And he's like a true man of science. Mm-hmm. He sees the stuff that's going on at NICE and goes like, there's nothing scientific about this. This is absurd. Mm-hmm. But it's not like he takes this like strong moral stance on it. He's like, it's absurd. Yeah, well, he's like, it's really more about your taste. It's like some people like that kind of thing. And I'm just more, it's not my taste.
There's even a description of him where he's described as, he doesn't really think that much of his scientific accomplishments. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's cool. He doesn't view science as grandiose and the saving of humanity at stake. He's just doing chemistry. And if I ever found out that chemistry was going to affect sociology and manipulation of the masses, I'd stop doing it and I'd go to my garden. Mm-hmm. He has no visions of grandeur here.
Yeah, it's like he likes actual science for, I don't know, almost like the pure discovery of knowledge.
Yeah.
It's like it's the process he enjoys.
And he sees through all the BS going on too. He's like, Nice was gonna get the wood no matter what. Like it's a matter of time. They have too much power.
And Mark's like, what? I thought you had to like compete with Cambridge and whatnot.
Exactly.
But, yeah. He gets out of Dodge, or he's trying to.
He's like, the only puzzle here is why the Nice just want that bit of land. That's the only thing that's worth. That's what I'm wondering about. Why do they want that land? And he's like, I'm done with this place. You should get out of here. Like you said, it's all what a man likes. And then it's funny. He's like, what's your subject? Sociology. Oh yeah, there's Theo. They're talking about it. Mm-hmm. Him just gives $0. He does not care. Like I think this place is sus and it's stupid. I'm getting out of here. You should too. By the way, if you want to stay, there's a guy you can talk to. It's hilarious.
He introduces them, immediately walks away. Mm-hmm. Right? He's just pawning off Mark on someone else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then that conversation is so good in its own right.
And
Steele is talking to.
He's like put in the background too.
Yeah, Steele's talking to whoever else Steele was talking to about Mark, like right in front of him.
Mm-hmm. Like he's not there.
Going like, oh man, Feverstone, back at it again. Mm-hmm. Just being Feverstone.
Mm-hmm. And then we get Philostrato. This guy's interesting.
What does his name mean? Like that's definitely.
I know.
Like Philistine.
It means something. I know it does.
See, what you missed out on is his Italian accent that he has in the audiobook.
What's his like? Meet the bottle. Yeah.
Yeah. Bene stato.
Yeah. He's very charismatic, and he's like, don't worry about steel. The existence of the human race depends on our work, our real work.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually, first you're getting a picture of, oh, this is an institute of science. Then it's, oh, backed by the government. We're gonna do real science. It's gonna be efficient. It's gonna be widespread. It's going to be mass-produced science, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get
true
transhumanism. Hell with science, yeah.
Transhumanism.
We're trying to save the human race, and we don't know exactly what that looks like yet in terms of linearity.
Yeah.
But we can.
In terms of whether the human race is actually saved or not.
Right. But like, in terms of where the knife stands, clear that they have very. It's more complicated than just, oh, we're gonna do science. In fact, it's not really science at all.
Yeah. There's a lot of this. I know you don't listen to as many like techno optimist podcasts as I do. But it is so funny when you get to people who are like, I mean, there are people like this. There are genuinely people like this today, where they talk about science and they're just like, yeah, just totally like obsessed with the idea that science is going to save us.
Yep.
And it's like, hold on, like what happened? We lost the entire like science. Science is nice because it's like a rational framework to generate knowledge.
Yes.
And then it's like, and then you took that and turned it into a religion in its own right. Like,
yep.
Come on.
Yep.
So yeah.
And so he tells him, steel, fever stone, people like that, no consequence. All you have to worry about is the deputy director and the fairy. Those two people, don't make enemies with them. And then we get introduced to the fairy, and she gets used in the next section. But then it goes back to Jane. So she goes to visit Miss Ironwood. She's thinking a lot.
The tall girl who could sit on a horse.
Yep. Who Jane has this line about the passion and admiration for a different kind of beauty. What was it? It's
yeah.
Jane conceives for her that almost passionate admiration which women, more often than is supposed, feel for other women whose beauty is not of their own type. It would be nice, Jane thought, to be like that, so straight, so forthright, so valiant, so fit to be mounted on a horse, and so divinely tall. So it's like there's no jealousy or envy. It's just like, wow, I wish I could get that. But then here's the line I was mentioning earlier, that the beauty of the female is the root of joy to the female as well as to the male.
Yeah, this is banger. This is fire right here.
And it is no accident that the goddess of love is older and stronger than the god. To desire the desiring of her own beauty is the vanity of Lilith, but to desire the enjoying of her own beauty is the obedience of Eve, and to both it is in the lover that the beloved tastes her own delightfulness. As obedience is the stairway of pleasure, so humility is the, and then, well, it gets cut off. I really want to know how that ended, but yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't it? Oh no, that is the part.
That's what she was thinking about the first part of it, and then so we get cut off. I would really like to know the end of that line.
I wonder if that's a text from somewhere.
It has to be.
We could probably look it up.
It has to be. But yeah, to desire the desiring of her own beauty is vanity, but to desire the enjoying of her beauty is obedience.
Yeah. That's so good.
It's so good, yeah.
I think, so this is like a number of the girls I've dated, we'll give it at that, have like expressed a sentiment that they're unhappy, that they don't know whether or not the guy they're dating only likes them for their looks, right? Like this is a common anxiety.
Yeah.
Where it's like, he's just using me for my looks, and it's tied to the idea that like looks fade, and what's going to be left over of our love after that.
Right.
And the sort of like feminine, the like bad solution to that is it manifests in like okay, well, I'm not going to steward my looks. I'm going to like intentionally make myself less attractive.
Sure.
Just so I can know. So I can really tell. and that it's yeah. I think like the answer to that is like no, like feminine beauty isn't just like it's not just this surface level. Like on in some sense, it is on the surface. Like you can see it. It's surface level.
Yeah.
On the other hand, it's genuinely like objective beauty.
Yes.
Right. It's not just some like as transient as it may be, even though it fades. Like it's still there's still something just objectively good about like the beauty of a woman, and yeah, the if you're say properly ordered as a woman, you will desire the enjoyment of your beauty.
I think too, in terms of this distinction he makes, you would also think about it as women who want to be pursued versus women who want to be loved. I think that the idea of it, desiring it, the desiring your beauty, is very much akin to it, wanting to be pursued. Like I'm hot. I know I'm hot. I want guys to fawn over me. Yeah. I want to have this experience of being center of attention. The one, right? Men fall at my feet, and I love how that makes me feel. Versus I want to be loved. That I want someone who will see me for who I am, hold me, love me, and in that respect, it's like one of them is very selfish. It's all about how I feel. The other one is I want someone who can see me how I see them. I want it to be reciprocal, right? I want there to be it. I want to recognize that I am worthy of being loved in the eyes of someone who I also love. Something like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, but this line is very good. Yeah.
And it goes on. There are more. I think I think in her conversation with Mrs.
Ironwood. So yeah, we get
Who's
Ironwood. She's 23. 1 year left, boys.
What? Who's 23?
Jane. And she's married.
Dang.
But that was back then, so that's not an old maid, actually.
Yeah, well, she's married, so she's not an old maid.
Yeah.
That's still.
Did you get married that late?
No kids yet.
Yeah.
At 23, what are we doing?
Yeah, exactly.
We've got 1 year left, but
yeah, but there's no time.
Exactly, and you can always marry her who's younger.
Well, sure.
So
anyway, talking about the dreams. Then we get you're the part of the Tudor family that can have visions, and Jane does not like this. She wants to be told that you need fixing. Here's how you're fixed. Instead, she's told that if you try to fix it, it'll make things worse and you'll hate yourself, or you can deal with it. And she doesn't want either of those. So she's very annoyed and
which is again a very masculine response. It's like I feel like girls are very prone to I feel like girls all kind of think they can do magic. I think they're at least more prone to believing that they wouldn't be they would be more accepting of the idea that they have prophetic dreams or something.
I think you're saying it's like the romantic creative element in women.
And also in a more literal sense, the way the feminine intuition does seem prophetic, especially to guys.
Yeah.
But even to girls, because it's not like they know how it works.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah.
Like she couldn't tell you why, in concrete terms, why Peter Stone is a bad guy. She just knows.
Yeah.
That's the feminine genius. And then, okay, so what? Yeah, she says you can't get rid of your gift. It's a gift. You have to use it, and if you don't use it, if you tell other people about it, people who are much worse than us, they will use you and do whatever they can to get the information from you. So be forewarned. You should join us. Yeah. And Jane's like, to heck with this mumbo jumbo crap. I'm out of here.
And she even has this line like, these people probably know that you're spying on them, which is like spooky.
That you're spying on them is really interesting too. It's unintentional. She's receiving these visions, but the way she phrases it is it's proactive. That's how they're going to interpret it.
Well, and it's like Jordan Peterson probably says something about this, but like you don't get to choose what your responsibilities are, right? Yeah. It's like what bugs you, what calls out to you, or just the position you're in.
Right.
It's like, well, you have this power now.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with it?
Right.
You can't just pretend it doesn't exist.
Exactly. Yeah. You've been given your cross, so to speak. So what do you do with it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we get back to Mark and the fairy, and
I think the fairy is really like a foil character
yes.
for Jane in a sense, where it's like Jane is kind of rejecting femininity.
Yes.
But the fairy is like fully like this is what would happen if Jane, took the wrong path.
Yes. She's big, burly. She's tobacco.
Yeah.
She cusses. She's loud.
She sits down and she throws her
leg
over the thing.
I had to reread that part twice. Like, wait, am I envisioning that right? And sure enough, I was.
I didn't have to read it twice because it's such a perfect picture of exactly what like I'd expect a woman like this to do.
Yeah, it says that he didn't like her, but she had excited in him all the distaste which a young man feels at the proximity of something rankly, even insolently sexed, and at the same time wholly unattracted. And she can see.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Insolently sexed, I think. Sexed, is that to be like the extreme version of masculinity or femininity, or is it the extreme like sexuality taken to an extreme?
I think it's not like. I think it means sex as in like having a defined sex.
Yes.
Not as in like sexy.
Yes, no, I agree with that. Yeah. And so she kind of likes the reaction she's getting from him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this woman was exasperating male prudery for her diversion.
Yeah, so she's making like the old boy jokes.
Yes. She tells
making,
like cigar lounge stories,
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like the fully realized feminist, the fully realized emancipated woman.
And she's a Nazi.
This is where it goes to extreme. It's when women become men, they become Nazis.
Actually, the number one demographic for supporting Hitler and Nazism was young women.
Crazy.
We don't think about that because it's never talked about, and also we think of Hitler Youth as men. But I mean, also the number one demographic supporting any political movement, any radical political movement, tends to be young women. It's very
emotional. Yeah.
Yes, they're very swayed.
Yeah.
But
this is the exact image of women we get today in media. Women are men, right? Women beat up guys, right? They're tough. They don't take nonsense from anybody. There's no beautiful women who are just receptive anymore. It's all no. I'm buff like a guy who can beat up dudes. I'm cool. I'm tough. What makes women impressive and worthwhile in today's society is how much they are like men.
Yeah. They can do anything we can do.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and if femininity loses, what makes it special?
Did you read Dracula ever?
No.
Dude, Dracula's so good.
I've heard this.
It's like one of my favorite books I read in school. Maybe my favorite book we read all year.
Wow.
And it's like lambasted in the modern day for being so sexist.
Sure.
Because the female heroine is like an actual woman. She's actually feminine.
Yeah.
And she doesn't try to do any of the fighting.
Yeah.
Okay? She's not she's just she's beautiful, she's witty, she's she's not taken in. There are two female characters. One of them is very easily not seduced, but we'll say seduced by the vampire.
Sure.
By Dracula. And the other one is just very diligent about being not being able to be taken advantage of, right?
Yeah.
It's the perfect picture of just proper femininity. And yeah, it's so funny that that's taken as just an atrocious act of patriarchy that Bram Stoker would think that femininity is this way.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. People wonder. I keep bringing her up, but people wonder why Elizabeth Bennet is one of the most popular characters in all fiction. It's because she's arguably the most feminine. She exhibits almost all the best feminine qualities.
Mm-hmm. You know the C.S. Lewis quote about Jane Austen?
No.
How Jane Austen made Jane Austen's books have two errors, and they're both unforgivable. They're too few and too short.
Ha!
Banger.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we get into they're talking about one of the things we're going to do here at the Institute. This has nothing to do with science. They're talking about how are we going to punish criminals, right? Retributive punishment versus vindictive punishment, and how you've got to get the ordinary man into the state in which he says sadism automatically when he hears the word punishment. Basically what we're trying to do is we want to get rid of capital punishment, whatever punishments of prisoners, so we can take them in here, experiment on them, mold them with our sociological demonic framework, but convince the public that what we're doing is re-education for the maladjusted. Right. We're healing the criminals, you know.
This is so good and it's still so relevant because it's like this like a feminized left-wing idea that punishment what's going on here? Oh, we're good. And even this was like a debate that we had in humanities where my feminist humanities teacher was trying to convince us that this idea of punishment as fitting the crime is like inhumane and horrendous.
Yes.
And like this idea that there's like some cosmic injustice that's disrupted when someone commits a crime that needs to be righted by punishment is really just it's just a blanketing over of our actual just like vengeful nature, and we're just angry and that's why we punish people. And it's like C.S. Lewis is so good at pointing out how like that's like how we sneak in the idea of what's it called, like a rehabilitation or a
retributive, or I think rehabilitation.
Remedial care.
Yes.
So instead of treating prisoners like they need to be punished for what they did wrong, we need to treat them like they need to be fixed for being the kind of person who does wrong.
Right.
And then the fairy has this great line where she's like, well, and really the key is that if the goal is remedial care, then the like right person can be whatever we decide it to be, and ultimately everyone we'll just get everyone in the remedial care group.
Yes.
Like if the punishment's fit to the crime, you know, you've got to kind of catch and release. Like you catch people, you punish them, and then you let them go again. But if it's remedial care, eventually everyone will be in our program of molding people into whatever we want them to.
Right. Because to the public, you would say, what do you want? Do you want sadism, punishment on this criminal, or do you want us to heal them? You know, give them a better life? Because after all, it was their environment that caused Johnny to do this, or whatever the reasons are. It's not just to punish them; we need to cure them. And it's because that's Aquinas is when you're talking about punishment. Aquinas is so good at talking about punishment, why it's important, and that there is factually a disturbance in the order of justice, and the only way for that order to be rectified is for punishment to be meted out on the will. And there has to be punishment because your will has to bend to it. You can't just say, oh, you're sorry, and move on. There has to be some sort of physical discomfort, pain, whatever you want to call it, inflicted on the will.
Yeah, we talked about this during Jordan Peterson, where it's like, all you need for your sins to be forgiven is to repent.
Yeah.
But then you're still where you're still in the hole you dug for yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
You don't just if you're truly repentant, then you see that you actually have to work to undo the perverting of the world that your sins led to.
Right.
And
if
you
you're not
get into crime and punishment.
Yeah, if you're not willing to accept the punishment for your sins, you're not actually sorry for your sins.
Yeah.
And then she has this line where she says, there's no distinction in the long run between police work and sociology. So basically what she's saying is we're trying to mold humanity, shape it in the image we want. The police force here, we're just the enforcing branch of that. And so police work and sociology, same thing. What she's saying is, we're the enforcement, and the nice is the sociology part, and we're gonna make sure that we get people under our thumb, and we can do what we want with them. We just need to get them in first.
See, I never, like, I'd always heard about how the goal of the prison system should be to rehabilitate criminals.
Yeah.
Right? And it sounds so nice. It sounds like, people, some people did grow up in horrible environments where it's like, we probably shouldn't have, like, situations where, people grow up in single parent households, they join a gang at 13, whatever it is. They grow up in, like, poorly policed neighborhoods, under policed neighborhoods. But it's like, it makes you want to say, like, oh man, we should do something for these people. And it's like, there's nothing, we as in society can just make this better by like changing the way we treat criminals, right?
Yeah.
We can't just be like, whatever it's going to be, let them out, give them whatever remedial care looks like.
Well, it's also what Jordan Peterson says, that no matter your circumstances, you're called to aim up. There are no excuses.
Yeah.
Plenty of people suffer it. Plenty of people live terrible lives. There's never any excuse or right reason to enact vengeance or violence on the world or others. There's never an excuse. You always have to aim up.
Yeah.
That provides
and there's, well,
keep
going.
That provides a pretty clear line of demarcation. It's that when evil is done, there needs to be punishment because there's no excuse for evil. There can never be an excuse for evil.
Yeah. That's good. He says, like, there's always an excuse for it, right? Like, no matter how high up the ladder you climb, you can always justify it to yourself.
Yes.
To be vengeful or whatever.
Right.
And it's never going to work out well for you. It's never,
So then she tells him, everyone's telling him, don't worry about these people, worry about these people. She tells him, don't worry about anybody except for Frost and Wither. We don't know who Frost is. Maybe she's talking about Philostrato, but I think Frost is someone else. But Wither we know. So Wither, both Philostrato and the fairy have told him, keep your distance with Wither, like make sure you don't cross him. Which is super funny and intriguing because he's the least intimidating character we've seen.
Yeah.
Like with Curry, you were like, this guy's political mastermind, genius. He knows what's up. He's gonna manipulate. With the Bursar, it was next level political maneuvering and masterminding.
It's pulling all the strings.
Puppet.
Yep.
Feverstone is,
he's the next.
This guy is
he sees what the Bursar does and goes.
These are the peasants over here doing their own thing. This is the powerhouse right here is Feverstone with the maniacal laugh, the charisma, the shrewdness. This is the man.
And then Wither's like, idiot.
Yeah, exactly. Is an old guy who can't talk, doesn't know what he's saying, can't remember names, seems really timid, ineffectual, and yet he's the one everyone's saying, watch out for this guy. It's a total inversion. It's like you've been going the ladder of, more power, more intelligence, whatever, more charisma, more magnetism, more stature. But you get to Wither, you're expecting all that, and it's just, wait, what? This guy's just seems like an old buddy.
Yeah.
So
it just makes you want. It's building the tension. It's
exactly.
Like, is he doing this on purpose? Is he trying to
who is this guy?
Lull you into a full sense of whatever?
Right. Because he seems totally harmless.
I can't even remember who Wither is.
Me neither. I'm enjoying
the names.
Like,
I couldn't keep.
I remember it. Like when I'm reading, I remember who stands where. But Wither, I can't remember what he turns out to be. So it's fascinating. And then, at dinner, he's next to the wizard Hideous, and Hideous just says, I'm peacing out.
Who is this?
Bill the Wizard Hideous.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So they're at dinner, and Bill says, I'm out of Dodge. This place is the Looney Tunes. I'm not here. And he's like, well, it depends what you like. If you enjoy the society of that Italian eunuch and the mad parson and that Hardcastle girl, her grandmother would have boxed her ears if she were alive, then there's nothing more to be said. You can stay. And it's all a question of taste. I came here because I thought it had something to do with science. Now that I find something more like a political conspiracy, I'll go home. I'm too old for that kind of thing. And if I wanted to join a conspiracy, this one wouldn't be my choice. Love this guy. Yeah, I love what's the word? He seems almost unimpressed by what's going on. He's not like, this is scary and dangerous.
Yeah.
We need to leave. He's like, this place is just stupid. Why am I here? These idiots. Like, it's a political conspiracy. He almost treats it like Pashad. Instead of, he's not a character in the movie who's, get out of here. Bad things will happen.
Yeah, which is kind of what James
I'm terrified. Yeah, right. Instead, he's just...
he doesn't take it seriously.
Yeah, these fools.
Goes,
like, political conspiracy, I'm too old for that. While these people might be like, severing heads and worshiping demons, he's like, political conspiracy, like, I'm too old for this. Like, I need to go home and go to my garden.
Yeah, he's unbothered.
Yeah.
And he's probably, like, he should be scared of it, as we later find out.
Right.
But
right now, it's interesting. So, I think I do. Yeah, this is such a good line. Yeah, okay, so he says, Mark says, wait a second, I know that you don't like sociology, but there's still other science going on here, right? And he says, there's no scientists like sociology, and if I found chemistry beginning to fit in with secret police run by a middle-aged virago who doesn't wear corsets, and a scheme for taking away the small man's farm and his shop and his children, I'd let chemistry go to the devil and take up gardening again. And then Mark says, I think I see where you're coming from, but don't you want to study reality? And here's the great line. He says, that's what happens when you study men. This is in this. You find mares' nests. I happen to believe that you can't study men. You can only get to know them, which is quite a different thing. Because you study them, you want to make the lower orders govern the country, and listen to classical music, which is balderdash. You also want to take away from them everything which makes life worth living, and not only from them, but from everyone except a parcel of prigs and professors. The line when he says, you can't study men, you can only get to know them, and it's different. Mm-hmm. So good. Yeah. Because when you do this thing of all the political tyrants in history have done, when people become statistics, when it's all about control and manipulation, when it's studying man, the animal, how to make it send to the next level, you can very easily go to the grandiose step of control, manipulation, violence, destruction, terror, all that stuff, because people become their pawns, they're animals, they're pieces, they're things to be studied and manipulated. Mm-hmm. But knowing people throws all that aside. If Hitler, or if any of these political tyrants had talked to a single person that would be tortured and killed by their regime when they were still in their formative years, and gotten to know them, when you know people, when you interact with people, you don't care, like you and me and other good people, we don't care about man, the animal. We care about people, individual people, just ordinary Joes on the street. And that's what, knowing someone versus studying it.
This is like the difference between like the modern moralizing that is effective altruism, where it's like, how can we maximize good in the world?
Yeah.
How can we, the most bang for our buck in terms of helping people?
Yes.
And it's like, you compare that with just like Christian like mission work, where it's like, we're not trying to be efficient with we're trying to be efficient with how we spend our money, that to enable us to get to know people is really it. Yeah. It's like, we're not going, what's the most effective, what are people's biggest problem in today's day and age? Like, how can we solve it for the least amount of money possible? Because it's like, that's not what love looks like in a Christian worldview. Yeah. It's like, it's a one-on-one thing. It's like you stop to talk to people, even like, you just get to know them.
Just get to know them, love them. And I think that's what's being discussed here. It was back to what we've been talking about a lot this whole, since I got back from college, the idea that everything we do matters, and that the way we enact real positive change in the world is through simple acts of kindness and love. Yeah. It's not through grandiose plans and programs and strategic moves and statistics and all that. No, it's just showing love to everyone. The cashier, the person you see walking across the street, the girl you swing dance with, just showing everyone love and kindness. And in this setting of the homeless, just talking to them, not worrying about how to solve the crisis of homelessness, just loving people. I think those two instincts are very different. They lead to different things. The instinct that wants to know, the instinct that wants to study people and fix them, versus the instinct that wants to know people and love them. Very different.
Yeah. We overcomplicate it so much. Like, it can just be like, a few words, just acting out of love, and
Yeah, everything we do matters.
Yeah.
Matters more than we know. So after that, the fairy calls him out. Hey, you're leaving, aren't you? And from when I was reading this, I was like, wait, are they gonna get him? Are they gonna trap him? But no.
Yeah, the fairy's like, oh, can you give me a ride home?
Yeah, and he says, if we're going the same direction, then sure. Oh, we're not, so I guess not. And so then he meets Bill Blizzard in the car, and he tells him, if you stay up Racton, you'll have a good career.
Mm-hmm.
If you get mixed up with the nice, things bad things are gonna happen. That's my last, not word of warning, but my last advice. And he said, Mark says, there are two views about everything. And he says, two views, there are a dozen views about everything until you know the answer. And there's never more than one. This guy's dangers left and right.
That's a good line.
And that really resonated with me too. It's like, once you know the truth, there really is only one answer. And you can play hardball with yourself all you want and back and forth. But at the end of the day, once you know the truth, there aren't any two views anymore. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So he leaves, and then
Slime about shoulder of Orion, even though Mark doesn't know it's Orion.
Yes, yeah, the constellations, yeah. And then he goes upstairs. He felt a hesitation, but outsider versus influential people, what do I do when he goes inside? And then goes back to Jane, and she thinks everything's going on is nonsense. One had to live one's own life, avoid entanglements, interferences, had long been her principles. Even when she had discovered that she was going to marry Mark, if he asked her it, I love that line, the thought, but I must still keep up my own life, had arisen at once and never more than a few minutes at a stretch been absent from her mind. Some resentment against love itself and therefore against Mark for thus invading her life remained.
Yeah.
So good.
It's so perfect because it's like, when you get married, you can't have two different directions when you get married. Like when you get married, it's the two of you working on your lives are completely intact. You're going in one direction or you're breaking apart the marriage, really. And yeah, it's so perfect that she's like resentful of Mark and his love for her that are like pulling her away from
her, invading her life.
Yeah.
And the line that when she had discovered she was going to marry him if he asked her it, makes me think that this wasn't really thought through. It was kind of, oh yeah, if he asked me, I would say yes.
And that's a very feminine way of, like, I think that's girls do discover that they would do a thing.
Right.
A thing happens.
But the fact that she feels resentment about that feeling, it's like, oh yeah, I'll say yes to him, but also now he's in my life, and I don't like that.
She has to be diligent about guarding her.
Right.
Her way of life.
Right. She was very vividly aware of how much a woman gives up in getting married. Mark seemed to her insufficiently aware of this, which is interesting. I think that is probably a good critique of Mark. Maybe he doesn't actually realize it, the quote-unquote sacrifices she's going through.
And he should realize it and be like, look, you have to, like, this marriage is not going to be a marriage unless you make a sacrifice.
Yes.
Like, this is a conversation they need to have.
He can't be oblivious about it. Yeah, they have to both acknowledge it and accept we both have sacrifices to make and we're going to move forward. Instead, he's oblivious and she's resentful of the sacrifice, neither of which is good. Because both need rectification. And then this fear of being invaded and entangled was the deepest ground of her determination not to have a child. One had one's own life to live. Because once you have a kid,
it's all
my life's over.
Yeah.
My life's actually over.
And at least she knows that.
At
least she's not trying to walk the line.
Right. It's the recognition of the truth, but the avoidance of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's the 3 chapters we read. Really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
This is a really fun read.
It's funny because I was thinking, the first time I read this, it was in conjunction with the first 2.
Yeah.
And so when I began this book, I was thinking, where in the hell is Ransom? What the hell is going on? Why is this book so different than the first 2? What's happening? Please tell me. But as I read, I started liking it more and more. But now that I'm reading it again, I'm like, to heck with the first 2 books. This book works perfectly by itself.
And he even says that in the intro.
He does. Yeah.
I even think like the first few books are good. I like them.
They're okay.
You know, Paralandra is iconic.
Yeah.
I liked the first one, Out of the Silent Planet, even better.
But they're both good, but they're good.
Yeah, I do think there's something that you. Yeah, I feel like I enjoy it way more just reading it almost fresh, without like an expectation that it's going to continue on this.
Right, exactly.
This
100%, 100%.
Yeah.
It came so out of left field. It's like, who's Mark and Jane?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on here? Obviously, Ransom makes his little cameo towards the end, but
there's no space.
Yeah, right.
It's not,
like this book is so good just on its own. Mm-hmm. I forgot who it was.
And it's good to go over it too, because there's so many subtleties that I missed that, or just
Even like reading it now, I really realized how much I glossed over the whole interplay between Jane and Mark and the feminine masculine dynamic. Like that's very much at the center of this book.
Yeah.
And for me, it was kind of like, that's cool, but like, where's all the transhumanist stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed that part, but also, come on, I want to see the demons and the end of the world and that kind of
thing. Aliens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
When are we getting into the spaceship?
Yeah, right.
But
no, yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. Since we didn't talk about the intro, but we both read it.
Yes.
I thought it was interesting how we talked about this as a fairy tale for adults.
Yeah.
Where it's like
it's not dependent on the setting.
And I never thought about that idea that fairy tales, they start out with like castles and princesses and princes and whatever.
Right.
And then they move into like fairies and magic and witches and whatever.
Right.
And we see that all as like fairy tale stuff.
Yeah.
But in the context of like when they were written, the castles and whatever, that was just mundane like everyday stuff. And so a modern fairy tale would look like this, where it's like just guy doing office politics, girl doing whatever girls do.
Right.
And
it's the romance.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been Facts and Smiles.
I'm Miles.
And I'm Max.
And we'll be right back.
Hell yeah.